Do I have a surprise for you? Yes, that's right. I bet after 2 months you doubted I would ever make another devlog for Karim and the 60 Thieves, right? Ha! Little did you know I was waiting this long to do it to lead you into a false sense of security. Welcome to the second devlog for Karim and the 60 Thieves. Yes, I know, it has been 2 months since my last devlog, but in that time I've been able to do a lot of things. For starters, I finished the last arena for the game in which you fight the game's boss, Hacker Guy. I also launched the Steam page for Karim and the 60 Thieves. Check it out in the description. However, the biggest and most important update I made in all this time, I won't be able to show you. See, what you didn't know about the clip that you are currently watching is that the game is currently running in full screen, when before this it has always only run in windowed mode. Full screen is really important for a game because everybody has a different size of monitor. So if your game runs in windowed mode, not everybody with every kind of monitor will be able to see the entire game, or sometimes the window of the game will be too small. Making the game runnable in full screen is really important to make the game enjoyable by everyone on every type of machine. Now, in a game engine like GameMaker Studio, this is trivially easy to do. However, if you for some inane reason decide to make your game in Java, prepare for a lifetime of frustration. I think it took me several weeks just to make sure the game ran well on other hardware. It took me way longer than what I wanted. First, I had to figure out how to get my game to run on somebody else's machine. Then I had to figure out how to resize the screen so it was plainly visible on other machines. Both steps were much more complicated than I had initially assumed. For starters, I had to figure out how to use a piece of software called JSmooth in order to turn my game into an executable file. The instructions for it aren't very clear, and I had a lot of trouble understanding every step needed to make the game runnable. For example, it took me a long time to figure out I needed to include the Java runtime environment within the executable file in order to get it to run on another machine. Now, JSmooth asks if you want to bundle the JRE, but I just assumed that the JRE file would be inside the executable file somehow. The wording wasn't very clear. After I figured out how to get the software to run on someone else's device, I had to figure out how to make it full screen. Again, the tutorials are practically non-existent and the instructions are very unclear. I used ChatGPT for a lot of this part, which I know isn't the best, but it often felt like the only way to get any kind of information about what I was trying to do. While I was working on the full screen part, I even figured out that the information I got from ChatGPT was straight up wrong, and I had to research specific functions to figure out how to get stuff set up. But once I got the game running in full screen, there were still issues. The black bars weren't wide enough to correctly cover the blank parts of the screen on every monitor, and every sprite I drew rotated was offset strangely. So I worked on it for several days, and after a lot of attempts and hard work, I finally got it kind of almost working, and then I just gave up. Yeah, sorry, rotated sprites may look a little off, but I did as much as I can. It's not terribly noticeable, maybe I'll figure out how to fix it later, but this part took a lot out of me. After all of that work, the game runs fine on other machines. Other changes I've made in this time include redoing the entire movement system to destroy all and any bugs in it, and adding some dust effects to the game to make movement a little more fun, a little more juicy. Right now, I'm planning to release the game in the end of June. I've been working hard to deliver a fun arcade experience, so if that's what you are into, definitely wishlist the game. Even though I faced a lot of setbacks, I'm very happy with what I've been able to make so far. Karim and the 60 Thieves is not the masterpiece of a game I dream of making, but I still think it's a fun game with unique mechanics and an entertaining story. I'm excited and proud to release this game, and I hope that at least one person enjoys playing it as much as I've enjoyed making it. So please, if you're interested, wishlist my game using the link in the description. And if you'd like to learn more about the design process and want to see more videos like this one, subscribe to my channel and browse my other videos. It means a lot to me that you've taken the time to watch this, and I want to continue to make stuff like this, so your support is always appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely evening, old sport.